Hello and welcome to StreetShot 2020 award ceremony. Ali Kaki here from Hepatitis Victoria, Liverwell. It's great to have you all with us today. We at Hepatitis Victoria, Liverwell acknowledge the traditional owners of the land where we are located in Melbourne, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and recognize their continuous connection to culture, community, and country. We would like to pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. We also acknowledge the traditional owners of the land throughout Australia. Today's program, so it is the 10th anniversary of StreetShot program this year, including the StreetShot's art competition. I would like to acknowledge the challenges that teachers and students have faced this year with the COVID-19 situation and remote learning. We're pleased to have received multiple entries from Upper Yarra Secondary College to the 2020 competition and express our thanks to teacher Laura Molan and her students who have participated in this year's competition. A brief overview of today's program. So we'll start off by inviting our board member, Jared Mcmo, who will give us a quick introduction. Later, we'll show a brief retrospective from the last 10 years of this competition. And finally, we'll end with the most anticipated moment of this morning. We'll announce the prize winners for this year's competition. Now, I'd like to introduce Jared Mcmo from the Board of Liverwell to address us today. Jared represents pharmacists and the Pharmaceutical Society of Australia on a number of professional committees and in advocacy roles with external stakeholders, such as RMIT University, Pharmacists Support Service, and the Victorian Department of Health and Human Services. Jared is particularly passionate about seeing greater collaboration between pharmacists across settings and between pharmacists and other professionals. Jared, I now hand the floor to you.
Thanks, Ali. So today we celebrate StreetShot program, which is the key youth program of Hepatitis Victoria. The StreetShot program consists of health education programs delivered to young people at schools, TAFEs, and youth groups and services, followed by encouragement for young people to take part in the StreetShot Arts competition, where they act as ambassadors for important health messages. Celebration of the StreetShot youth program, and particularly the StreetShot's Arts competition, has over the past 10 years generally taken place with an exhibition and awards ceremony as part of Hepatitis Victoria's Liverability Festival, which is an annual program of events in the lead up to World Hepatitis Day at the end of July. Given the situation with COVID-19 this year and the impact on educational institutions, young people and the community, a face-to-face StreetShot event has not been possible. Given the circumstances, adjustments were made to the StreetShot program and remote learning options were offered. These options included pre-recorded StreetShot health education sessions, which were taken up by some schools and TAFEs. There have been particular challenges engaging students and other young people in participating in the StreetShot Arts competition during this period, and we are delighted that photography students from the Upper Yarra Secondary College, with the support of their teacher Laura Molan, have chosen to submit entries to the competition. I look forward to seeing the entries with you later on in this online celebration today. Peer education has been described as education of young people by young people. Young people have a powerful voice in conveying health messages of testing, prevention, management, and cure regarding viral hepatitis back to their peers and their families. This has been well represented through participation of young people in the StreetShot Arts competition since the first year of the competition in Victoria in 2010. Through exercising their voice and their artistic expression, young people are raising awareness of viral hepatitis in their network in broader communities and are playing an important part in a whole of community approach towards elimination of viral hepatitis. Thank you again for your participation. I look forward to seeing the entries and the winners.
Thank you, Jared. We appreciate you being with us today and speaking. Thank you. Next, I'd like to call upon Kay Dufty. She is a person who coordinates the StreetShot program. Kay would like to say a few words about the StreetShot program and the competition over the last decade.
Thank you very much, Ali. So over the last 10-year period from 2010 to 2020, the StreetShot program has taken place in a broad range of settings, including alternative education programs, VCAL programs, youth services and youth groups, secondary schools, Clontarf programs and TAFEs. Since 2010, the program has provided health education to over 4,300 young people. Entries from young people to the StreetShot competition have been received from near and far across Victoria, from young people from a range of culturally diverse backgrounds. Through their participation in the StreetShot Arts competition, young people have continued to convey messages to other young people about why viral hepatitis is an important and relevant health issue for them, how they can keep themselves safe, the importance of testing and treatment, and the importance of tackling stigma related to hepatitis. Assistance from volunteers has been integral to the StreetShot program, and we're indebted to them for their help with the program. I'm grateful for the assistance of volunteers this year who contacted schools early in the year, and to volunteer Smriti Raj, who during the lockdown period created a poster and a great promotional video for the StreetShot Arts competition. Many thanks, Smriti. Changes have taken place over the decade to the StreetShot program, including two aspects of the competition. So regarding the competition, some of the changes have mirrored changes in technology, such as a move to greater use of online facilities for registration of interest and submission of entries to the StreetShot competition, use of social media for promotion and interaction, and embracing digital photography and video creation. A significant addition to StreetShot education material over the period has been the inclusion of a focus on hepatitis B as well as hepatitis C, in recognition of the importance for young people of vaccination to prevent hepatitis B, causes of hepatitis B, and treatment for hepatitis B for those who need it. Tackling stigma continues to be an enduring theme of the StreetShot program and has often been featured in entries to the competition. The introduction and availability of revolutionary and affordable new treatment in 2016, where a course of tablets offers a cure for 95% of people with hepatitis C, was a breakthrough in treatment for adults who have hepatitis C. More recently, the treatment has become available for adolescents aged 12 years and over who have a Medicare card. Conveying information about this treatment for hepatitis C and the treatments on the pharmaceutical benefits scheme and is affordable to Australians has been an important part of StreetShot messaging since 2016 and has been taken up as a theme in entries to the competition. In 2016, the World Health Organization called for elimination of viral hepatitis as a major public health threat by 2030. Countries across the world are part of a global movement towards this goal of elimination. So the movement includes government, health services and community-based initiatives. And reflecting on what Jared said in his address, young people through their participation in the StreetShot Arts competition are indeed playing an important part in a whole of community approach response towards the elimination of viral hepatitis. Now we have an exciting part of our ceremony. Our colleague Sean Knott has prepared a retrospective video as a visual snapshot of the decade, which he will now share with us. Many thanks, Sean, and over to you.
Welcome to 10 years of StreetShot. In 2010, the StreetShot Youth Program was created to educate young people about hepatitis C across Victoria. This included the launch of the StreetShot Arts photographic competition, Disposable cameras were provided to young people who could not access a digital camera or mobile phone. The inaugural Street Shot exhibition was held at Melbourne's Federation Square on International Hepatitis Awareness Week. In 2011, World Hepatitis Day became recognised by the World Health Organization as an International Public Health Day.
Viral hepatitis is one of the most prevalent and serious infectious diseases in the world. To increase awareness of viral hepatitis, the diseases and discrimination it causes, the World Health Organization has declared the 28th July as World Hepatitis Day.
In 2012, the education program, which ran throughout metropolitan Melbourne, was rolled out to regional areas. Peer educators were introduced to help deliver education sessions. The competition was promoted via social media for the first time, and the exhibition was featured online. In 2013, online voting for the People's Choice Award via Facebook was introduced. In 2014, the competition was exhibited in locations across Melbourne, Sunshine and Shepparton to provide opportunities for the broader community to learn about viral hepatitis. In 2015, the Street Shot exhibition was held at Footscray's Victoria University at the Western Livability Festival. Competition entrants were able to submit their art online for the first time. Upper Yarra Secondary College became a multi-year participant in the competition, making solid contributions and being awarded for their effort. In 2016, information about the new hepatitis C treatment was included into Street Shot education curriculum. The first Victorian state government strategies for hepatitis B and C was launched by the Parliamentary Secretary for Health, Mary Ann Thomas, at the Street Shot launch exhibition and award ceremony. In 2017, information about hepatitis B was introduced into the curriculum of the Street Shot program.
Each year 500,000 deaths could all be avoided if you got yourself checked, but now you're starting to sweat like you're surrounded by flames. Who would have thought that this would be the main cause of your pain? You know this won't be okay, dude, you should have refrained. The needle's never worth any drug, clouding your brain. Now your urine stains, your body's going through change. Eyes and skin turning yellow with abdominal pain. It's destructive to the public, ain't no fun, it's just suffering. Reduce you to nothing when you follow the current trends of sticking the needle in. Pass out then leave it in, sleeping with prick skin in the park with no heat, man. Get yourself tested, or risk infection from injection. The lessons of blessing, death is the reverend. Don't succumb to your sickness and its wickedness. A trip to the docks can make all of the difference.
In 2018, schools were invited to apply for travel grants to support students to attend the exhibition.
I can't find my razor. Just use mine. Thanks, man.
Welcome to 2020, the year of the pandemic and homeschooling. Despite this, we are delighted to have entries for this year's Street Shot competition from photography students at Upper Yarra Secondary College, and we thank their teacher, Laura Milan, for her support and encouragement.
Many thanks, Sean, for putting together this retrospective video and speaking to us. It's great to see the work prepared by our young Australians and active community participation. We would now like to display entries from this year's competition. Congratulations to the students for the time they put in to developing their entries, for the quality of their work. Thanks to teacher Laura Molan from Upper Yarra Secondary College for her support of the students and the competition. This year, there are 11 individual photo entries and 1 group photo entry. I will now hand over to Kay to show and display our entries for this year.
Thank you, Ali. Okay, so here we go with the entries to this year's competition, and they are wonderful entries. Thank you very much to the students. First of all, we have individual entries, so they are entries submitted by an individual. First, we have Some People Don't Know by Chloe Gell, and Chloe has noted in Australia there were 221,420 people with hepatitis B. Of these people, 32% did not know that they had it. Symptoms can take a few months to show, and the only way to know if you have Hep B is through a blood test. Chloe Gell's second entry is glass half full. If you have hepatitis C, it's not a death sentence. You should think about it as if it is a glass half full. Although you have it, it can be cured, and there is a 95% success rate. Jessie Jones has submitted You Are Not Alone. Being diagnosed with hepatitis can leave people feeling isolated, abandoned, and alone. But it doesn't have to be this way. There are people who will support you. Hepatitis Victoria, as well as family and friends, come forward and help fight hepatitis stigma. Jessie's grateful if you are a lucky one. 0.90% of Australians have hepatitis B. Keep safe, get tested and get treated. Get educated and have a happy, healthy life. Using coat hangers, this photo is representing the percentage of people with hepatitis B in Australia. This needs to change, and with education, that can happen. The risk of catching hepatitis C from sharing grooming products is low. It is best to have your own. Hepatitis C is contracted through blood-to-blood contact, and sometimes this can occur when you share a toothbrush, comb, or razor with someone who has the disease. Riley's second entry is There's No Time to Wait. 1 in 4 people with hepatitis B who leave it untreated will develop liver cancer. If you have Hep B, you need to act. You don't have time to wait. Hep B cannot be cured, but it can be treated. We now move on to the second section. We have a group entry this year, so this is an entry submitted by a group. And Charlie and Xander Dunn have submitted Bad Idea. If you want to get a tattoo, it is really important to do some research and get inked by a professional at a clean and safe parlour. It is a bad idea to get tattooed by a friend at home. This is because there is high risk of cross-contamination, which can lead to hepatitis being spread. Hep B and C are spread through blood-to-blood contact, and at home, tattooing often means equipment isn't cleaned properly. That brings us to the end of the display. So I'll go back now to Ali. Thank you. Thanks very much, everyone, for your contributions. They're fabulous.
Thank you, Kay. Great work to all the students from Upper Yarra. And I can see that Laura Molan has also tuned into our Facebook chat, and she's told us that the online education sessions were great. Thank you. We were fortunate in having the following 3 judges for this year's competition, and we thank them very much for their time. We know a competition is never a competition if there's no judges. Our first one was Elizabeth Birbelis, Senior Policy Officer, Sexual Health and Viral Hepatitis from the Department of Health and Human Services. Will Scott, a person with lived experience of viral hepatitis and a former staff member. Smruti Raj, Hepatitis Victoria's volunteer. Thank you to all our judges for all the support and help for this year's awards and competition. And we now move to the most anticipated moment of this morning, announcement of the awards. I will now call upon Kay Dufty to present the awards.
Thank you, Ali. Okay, so our first award is for winning photograph by an individual with a prize valued at $350. And this is awarded to Jassy Jones for You Are Not Alone. So congratulations, Jassy, that's great. The second prize is for winning photograph by a group, and a prize of $500 or valued at $500 will be shared between Charlie and Xander Dunn for Bad Idea. Congratulations, Charlie and Xander. All of the other participants are warmly acknowledged for their entries and are each awarded a $30 Coles Group gift cards. Congratulations to you all for your wonderful entries, and thanks so much for participating this year.
Okay, so now it brings us to the very end. Congratulations to all the winners, the participants, and everyone that has participated in this year's competition. This brings us to the end of the award ceremony. Many thanks to all that have been involved and assisted us. We look forward to your participation in 2021. Please visit our website for more information if you would like to take part in next year's competition. Don't forget to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.